Call me Pasty Vapors. But the autopsy report for Shad Gaspard has been revealed by theblast.com. Wow.
I'm still loving Pasty Vapors. I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
I had an armpit rash earlier this week. You should have smelled them Pasty Vapors. That was not good.
Bismarcky wouldn't have even done those vapors, buddy. Woo! What happened to old Shad Gaspard, buddy?
He passed away at the age of 39 back on May 17th. And we're just reporting it now. No, kidding. We did report it before. If you're a first-time listener or somebody who only listens sporadically, we keep up with the shit, and we get it out here to the people. Whew. After he and his son were among a group of swimmers who were swept away by a strong rip current while in the ocean at Venice Beach, California. First responders hit the water to rescue them, but could not get to Shad. Actually, they did, and he told him to get my son instead. I'm a mermaid. I got this.
We'll go with that. We'll go with somebody actually got to him. He told them to leave, and then they didn't actually get him and left. We'll go with that story, because that's how first responders work. Here I am. You're holding me. But leave and get somebody else. Okay, brah. We're just going to go with that story because it makes him sound better.
Yeah, he's a hero.
He is a fucking hero. He died. He's a fucking hero.
A search and rescue operation for Gaspard was then launched and his body washed ashore 3 days later. The autopsy lists drowning as the official cause of death for Shad.
No way!
Wow!
Whoa!
His death was ruled an accident. Thank God.
But
I thought this was tied to that NASCAR thing, honestly.
First of all, Pasty, I'm just going to say this. If the first story is correct and a first responder got to him and then left him,
that would be murder, right?
That's at least manslaughter. At least. So what story are we telling here now? Was it drowning by accident or did somebody kill him? It can't be both. You know what? I still to this day don't buy that somebody fucking got to him and he said, "Leave me and get my son." Like, it's not a thing that happened. I believe somebody would say that. I don't believe a first responder would do that. You can't do that. You take care of what's immediately.
Honestly, there's probably more than one first responder, so that one could attend to you.
There was like 7 or 8 of them, for sure. And it's like, he never said that. You never got close to him. Nobody heard him. He was drifting away, and the only thing he actually said was, "You fuckers suck at your job." Like, that's his last fucking words. None of this shit fucking happened. Get the fuck out of here.
Or he said, "Get my son first," and then they didn't come back for him.
It's like,
you were supposed to come back for me.
Yeah, if it did fucking happen, it's literally manslaughter. You can't leave somebody that you're saving to save somebody. That's not something you can do.
Well, then I guess we just got to call theblast.com a non-credible resource. They've never made an appearance on our podcast.
I think it's the first fucking appearance. I mean, theblast.com made an appearance on my toilet the other day after I hit up Taco Bell, but damn, that's the last time I heard from The Blast. Speaking of people who love Taco Bell, veteran wrestler killer Tim Brooks passed away.
Isn't he Dyer now?
I'm going to give him some respect. Let's start over.
Okay, well, then we got to go back and start with Shad because we fucked that one way up.
Well, he doesn't get respect because he's lying. He's lying post-mortem, and that's even worse. Don't fucking lie to me after you
his
die.
His pasty vapors are spreading falsities.
His vapors are fucking lying. You're fucking fictional vapors.
It's the vapors.
got one fucking story left to end the
That's
show.
going to be my new excuse for everything, Fat Man. Oh, sorry. It's the vapors.
Post-mortem vapors.
Media takes it out of context and starts going after Jewel again. No, not those vapors. These vapors.
Hold on. We got one story left, and I'm going to get it. I'm going to nail this fucking.
All right.
We got it. Whew. All right. We're in the obituaries, folks. Veteran wrestler Killer Tim Brooks passed away on Tuesday at the age of 72. He had battled cancer for several years, and it was known to be terminal. Now, Brooks had wrestled in the United States, Japan, and Puerto Rico from 1970 through 1990. Brooks was honored earlier this year, actually, for his contributions to wrestling by the Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame and Museum, sometimes referred to as the real Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame compared to the WWE one that is just Vince McMahon's boys. He was a big star in the 70s and 80s with promotions such as WCCW, World Wrestling Council, and various NWA territories. Additionally, he's a former North American champion with Stampede Wrestling. Of course, that is the promotion's top title at the time. And a former NWA National Heavyweight Champion. Brooks also teamed with Roddy Piper in Oregon as Bad News Brooks. And long before the infamous 1988 angle in between Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant and Ted DiBiase over the WWF World Heavyweight Championship, Brooks had, in 1983, actually sold the NWA National Heavyweight Championship to Larry Zbyszko.
Everybody's got a price.
Exactly. The exact same storyline, but done years earlier. Brooks would continue to work Texas Indies through 1997 and later launched his North American Wrestling Alliance Training School, which also ran shows in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Brooks was a good friend with the late Bruiser Brody, and they wrestled several times together. Brooks also trained several stars of pro wrestling, a lot of up-and-comers. Probably the only name you would recognize, though, would be the current NXT North American champion, Keith Lee.
You mean about to be double champion, Keith Lee? Ow! I'm looking forward to that.
Actually, I'm sad to say I think he is going to be double champion.
It only makes sense. It only makes sense if he gets it. It does not make any sense at all if Adam Cole does.
No, 100% Keith Lee should get it.
WWE did reportedly record 2 endings to that match, so anything can happen. Yeah.
Wow, keeping kayfabe. I kind of like that. I'm going to give him credit for that. But to be fair, I want Adam Cole to get both champions, but I think Keith Lee should get both. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, storyline-wise, Keith Lee deserves it. Like,
it makes zero sense for Adam Cole to get it. I like Adam Cole, 100%. But he needs to move on from what's going on right now.
Oh, 100%. I'm 100%.
I don't know yet if I feel that Undisputed Era has run its course and they need to split up. Or if they need to go to the main roster together. I don't think, if he loses his gold, I don't think any of them have gold right now. So it makes sense.
I don't want them to split up, but I honestly never want them to split up. So
yeah.
But yeah, that is the right thing. But let's talk about old Tim Brooks. First thing I want to say though, Pasty, this is one that, despite everything I read about him, and he seemed to be pretty prominent, I've never heard of Killer Tim Brooks. Like, ever.
Yeah?
Yeah, you have?
No.
Okay, well, you sound silent stunned, like, wow, I remember him from WrestleMania 1!
No, it's not often that we talk about a name that you don't know.
I really have never heard of Killer Tim Brooks, and I read all this shit, and I was like, God, I should have known him, but I don't know anything about him. So it's sad when somebody dies, and that's how you learn about him. But I will definitely say we have a holiday weekend here. I have tomorrow and Sunday off. I am going to YouTube Killer Tom Brooks and watch.
Well, you
some
gotta
of his
YouTube
matches,
Killer
so.
Tim Brooks. If you do Killer Tom Brooks, it's gonna be some other shit.
Yeah. We'll get a little column A and a little column B. I'm gonna get Killer Tim Brooks and check some of his stuff out because I didn't even recognize the name at all. Even when I started reading his accolades, I was like, none of this is striking anything to my memory. So I'm gonna check this out. I'm sad he died, but I'm glad we have this platform where we can let people know about these things, so people even like myself can be like, oh shit, this sounds interesting. I'm gonna look into this guy, and maybe prolong their legacy.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. That's why I don't understand. I mean, I get it. You hurt when somebody dies, but when a celebrity dies and people are like, "Oh my God, he was my favorite," blah, blah, blah. It's like, as much as you know him or them, they're still with you the same exact way because you can go back and watch all their shit. You weren't friends with them or anything, so it shouldn't affect you like that.
Yeah, Carl Reiner just died this week.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, it's like, oh shit, he died, but also he's like 175 years old, and also Carl Reiner created the Dick Van Dyke Show. All this does is make me want to rewatch the Dick Van Dyke Show from season 1 to season, what they have, only 4 seasons, maybe 5. It was sad that they had such short seasons, but
it's the Van Show with That's one of my favorite Family Guy things.
Family Guy, yep, 100%. When they had that censored episode, yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like all it does is make me want to rewatch. Like I want to commemorate it, not be sad upon it.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
That's the best thing because they live their lives to entertain you. So in their death, don't be sad. Just let them continue to entertain you. I think that probably is one of the most powerful things in a celebrity's mind.
Well, yeah, they just live their whole life so that one day, just one day, which happened to be the day they died, you would just be sad.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I'm going to do so much work. I'm going to do all of this. I'm going to try so hard so that one day thousands of people will be sad. No, it's so that every day millions of people will be happy. That's why they did it, you dumb fuckers. I agree, Pasty.
Yes, and that's why we do this podcast. So when we're dead, you still fucking listen to us. You got it?
Dumb fuckers.
It's been a good one.
It is a good one.
Looks like we're going to be getting back to normal next week.
It seems like we got some long ones coming up here, Pasty.
Yeah, no more of these hour shows. Next week we return with predictions for 2 shows?
Next week we return with predictions for 1 show, New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion 2020.
Okay.
After that, we have results for that, and then we also have predictions for Impact Slammiversary 2020, which will be that Saturday, and WWE Extreme Rules 2020, which will be that Sunday, which is very rare that Impact and WWE have a pay-per-view on the same weekend.
Yeah.
Woo!
Wow.
It'll be interesting. Things are getting busy for everybody moving forward, but it's a good thing they're getting busy for us because we need to talk about stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm tired of talking, Fat Mac, and it's the end of the show.
I've been sick of talking for about a fucking hour.
No, it's been a good one. Fun times.
Before we leave, I just want to let everybody know, Alex Marvez is not Brian Alvarez. I think if you learned anything from this show, just take that away.
They're both jock-sniffing bastards, though.
Yeah.
They both suck at what they do.
For sure. Oh, yeah, 100%.
Well, I guess I don't know. What does Marvez do now anyway? He might not suck at it.
I think he's doing nothing, and I think he even sucks at that.
He's just always twitching. Damn it. Well, folks, until next week, enjoy the pasty vapors. they'll linger.